Luke, what's the emotions like after that one?
There's sort of a north and south pole. I mean, the south pole is, we sort of feel like we've missed an opportunity to. Well, we've missed an opportunity to play finals right now, when we had, say, control of the game early, we probably just didn't capitalise on some scoring opportunities. And then when you're going in, they're a bit bigger, probably a little bit stronger as far as the height to weight sort of comparisons go. And we went in knowing that their long to contest stuff off their boot was going to be something that we had to really defend well. And that was the game, in the end. We didn't diffuse their long kicks to contest out of our front end. And they got us in a lot of space in their territory and scored a bit too easily. And in the end, that's probably the margin. Their height at both ends definitely won the day. So there's a lot of disappointment in all of that. Everyone's, as flat as a shit carters. There's no doubt about that. So that's the real south pole of the whole thing. I thought Fremantle played, extremely well. They've been a good side this year, but their contest and the way they played, they challenged us. I didn't think we played that poorly. I thought we were well in it. It was just. We didn't capitalise on some stuff, and they definitely did. And then the North Pole is, I think we played 37 or 38 players. There's been lots of improvement through our playing group. We haven't been able to win these games against the better sides, so that's just a black and white thing. But we came out of the previous year, and there were half a dozen games that we just thought. We lacked any ID, who was that? There's not a game this year where I haven't been really grateful for the players' performance, their application, their willingness to persevere. And this afternoon's another one of those. When they gapped us after we were up, the boys still dug in. They still gave their all, and obviously we fell short. There's a lot of encouragement coming out of the year. As I said, from a club, a team, from an individual perspective, that doesn't override the disappointment of a missed opportunity, though. So the South is a lot more cutting than the North is encouraging right at this point in time.
Do you feel like you missed an opportunity to do some damage in September? I mean, if you are to miss by Wednesday night 14 wins, you don't usually miss out on playing finals with 14 wins.
Yeah, well, that's part of it, but we can't sort of have a woe is us sort of attitude. That's just what it is. It's the competition. The better teams have just got ahead of the equation a little bit with the teams down below. And as I said the other day, there just hasn't been enough upsets for 14 wins to get in. So, we anticipate that it still won't. The Bombers have got an injury list 20 long. I understand Ken saying the other night that he didn't think Port would win because their injury list is pretty close as well. Obviously, they're running off a lot of emotion with Ken, and congratulations to Kenny on his tenure at the Power. He's been pretty resilient, and they've been successful. And to Travis Boak for his career, but Essendon beating Gold Coast is as long a shot as there is. So we anticipate that our season's probably done, and we've just got to now support the rest of the boys who have got a Footscray final series ahead of us. We play Frankston at the Whitten Oval this coming weekend, and we've got to stay in it for the boys' teammates' sake.
What do the next few days look like then? Do you still prepare and train as you would, just in case?
Yeah, we will. We'll carry on like there's that slim chance is there. tomorrow we'll be away from the club, but we'll turn up Tuesday and we'll have a flush run and we'll process some things, and then we'll we'll obviously be attentive to what happens Wednesday. But yeah, look, I mean, as I just said to the group, almost the whole club were, other than our administration, were in that post-game meeting, and our objective is to get to the point where we're right up the top of the ladder consistently, and can continue to create that in succession. Now, we haven't been able to do that to this point in time, other than it's been good outcomes, playing in grand finals, but this is a year where there's been considerable growth. We just haven't been able to win that one or two more to give us that look that you're talking about, Josh. So that's just the way it is. We've got to accept that.
Luke, you touched on in your first answer about your record against the best teams. I think it's 2-8 now after today. What's your theme? What theme did you notice from those games? A lot of close losses. You were right in them, just didn't quite get it across the line. Is there something you noticed that was stopping you taking that extra step?
Yeah, I think quite simply it's being able to sustain the contest. Part of that's we haven't got a great pressure rating. We've become a prolific scoring team, even though they scored quite heavily today. And that's another thing, we haven't, and because of that aspect, we haven't been able to stifle the scoreability of the opposition. Definitely at times, the opposition key forwards have got a hold of us, so it is an area that we need to continue to focus on to improve and work with our current players who play there, and but perhaps look at whether or not there's an opportunity in the market there. But I think, quite simply, our contest sustainability, and that's inside and outside the stoppage. It's been the one thing I think in some of the more physically robust teams where we've just fallen short for a period of the games, and it's cost us. So that's probably the simple thing.
So when you talk about in the market and upgrading the key defensive stocks, is it a pressure player that can play further afield? What sort of type are you?
Look, I'd rather not talk about post-season stuff. It's disrespectful to our current group. But I think if you fall short as far as being able to resurrect the footy in your back third, you've got to continue to look for ways to make sure that you improve there, and we'll be able to. Jed Bustling is, in the infancy of his career. James O'Donnell's pretty brand new. Lobby's obviously a seasoned player, and it was a difficult night tonight. Josh Tracy was, quite exceptional. And so we're with the market talk. Look, I probably shouldn't have even brought it up, but we just need to be better. That's just part of it, and I think it's probably the main area where we've continued to try and work out how to prevent footy from getting in there, but being better at diffusing those situations, and we just haven't been good enough at it. And when we start to lose the contest and there's sort of some blatant turnover, it's just too hard to stop it against the better teams. They use the footy too well, and Fremantle did tonight or this afternoon.
Bevo, what's the plan now with Adam Treloar? Will he still play VFL finals?
I'm unsure about his eligibility, Josh. He is eligible. Yeah, he will. Yeah, he will. The important thing for Adam, he was, he got through the game last week, and he's actually been sick for the last few days. So even if we did pick him, he wouldn't have been able to play. So hopefully he's here this afternoon. So hopefully he comes up. And just finish off the year with, and be able to play out the full quarters. That's really important for him and for us.
Does he remain someone that you want on your list next year? Like, obviously, there's been talk around his situation, hasn't got a deal yet.
Yeah, I said the other day, Adam at his best, he's one of the first handful picked, and the assessment at the end of the year in discussions with him, will be around, whether he's physically capable to go on, and whether the same challenges will remain next year, and work through that with him. Yeah, if you were guaranteed that he could play, 15 games of AFL footy, you'd definitely go on, but not sure whether we get that guarantee. So it's going to be something that we've all got to process together.
Have you found one in Jordan Croft in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, we believe so. I mean, he's a really promising young player, and at the start of pre-season, we lined him up to play a few positions just in case we lost a player or two, and he's pretty fresh and brand new, but he's a unique player. His athletic capabilities, but he's shown some really promising signs. I think I think that's what you're saying over the recent 2 weeks. So hopefully Crofty can continue to grow and be a young player who sets the scene around that sustainable success. I think when you him and Sam and in particular, they're still young key forwards, and their season backs are pretty strong. They fought the good fight, but we just couldn't get a handle. And the unfortunate thing in the second quarter, we came in at half time and we'd starved our forwards of footy. I think we only had 7 inside 50s, and that's difficult. But they managed to hang in there and come again. So yeah, he'll be better for his AFL experience, and he'll be right to play for Footscray next week.
How do you look back at that second quarter now? Like, ultimately, when it comes down to it, that quarter might be what ends up costing you playing finals. Yeah,
it's what I said at the start. Quite simply, it was those long kicks to contest that really hurt us. I mean, they got centre clearance too. They got territory, and then they got some out-in plays off that when they got a stoppage or two, and they kicked goals. So it was a territory game for them. That's why we didn't get inside our 50. So centre bounce went south. When we did get it forward, we didn't defend those balls to contest well at all, and that was the game in the end. So you look back at it, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be disappointed. The thing is, it was history repeating itself in a different way, because the same thing happened in Western Australia when we played them the first time. 7 goals in the second quarter. It's been a little while since that's happened, but as far as that run, we tried to stop it, but particularly at the end of the quarter, I think we gave up the last couple in a different kind of mode, but it wasn't enough.